Pretty little morning, about 39, so I'm not ready for the day. I'm in my bathrobe, just had a cup of coffee, but I had a dream about how to fix this little bridge, and I'm going to share that. Well, before I could do that bridge work, this is the last of what I picked up from that old ranch that was cleaning up, and they had some outhouses and some hoarders. They got quite a little project going, but notice I got a flat tire. So I posed a question as a short, and the question was, y'all know if radials are a better solution to bias plies? I get between 8 and 10 flat tires a year, mostly because I have to step off the road. They're so narrow here that this trailer doesn't fit when I'm hauling. I have to step off the road onto the curb to let people around on these back roads. And so usually I lose these tires. You see that one's a new replacement. And also I have a lot of mesquite out here. So, but I have at least 8 to 10 flat tires a year. Things fall off the bead. The big ones get flat. Right over there right now, my Razor has 2 low ones. I have fixed and or replaced on a 2-year-old truck every tire. So, that's a lot of work. Let me do a real quick recap of the stuff that I gathered up. So looky there, when I was there, I found an old century plant that had fallen down. I said, y'all gonna just bulldoze them under? And yes, indeed they were. I got a little doghouse igloo thing I think I can use for my chickens. I'm not sure. Buckets are $5 a piece. And with me digging dirt, I always need buckets. So I grab buckets every time I see them. People don't seem to complain. I got this old gate right here. It's a nice, I'm going to guess 8-foot cattle gate, and as you know, all know I'm doing my fences. This thing here, I'll end up cutting the rust out of it. It's a stock tank that went flat. Cut it in half along the seams, and then I'll use the arch and the arch with tin between it, and I'll pour concrete on that arch, and I'll use it in the back where I have a wet weather stream that's going to make digging hard. So that'll end up being the frame of a cemented bridge. I got another little tiny gate. Every football field's length of my fence, I like to put an access gate in for me to pass through. So as many of those as I can get, I do. All of this was free. Underneath here, I got a lot of tin. I'm gonna have to be careful backing out that I don't cut a line, a hydraulic hose in there, but underneath my tractor I've got 20 sheets of tin, full tin. I'm gonna guess 16 foot by 2 foot long underneath there. Pallet, of course. What else did I get for free? Alright, I got this polyethylene tank. It's a 3,000 gallon is what my estimates is based on size. I've got this here is about a 3/4 inch thick. This thing measured out at 1,095 pounds, so it was quite the horse. Now, I'm going to have to fix some of these edges that I broke moving it. See that right there? I broke it, and I'll do that with polyethylene welding sticks later on. Right here, I've got to dig this all out, drop that tank in. This will be my koi pond. I'm going to drop it in here so that I have a little patio there, access into my kitchen in the back, as well as outdoor laundry, I've decided, and then a Spanish courtyard with a swim pool and all the good stuff in the back. I've already got a little fountain. Now all the stuff I showed you right there, that was all free, and there is easy $5,000 or $6,000 of stuff there. So there's a little courtyard fountain that I redeemed from a house that was bulldozed in Austin, Texas. All I had to do is show up with a stone hammer. The reason why nobody else took it is it was all cemented in. It was a 100-year-old thing all cemented in, and they don't allow heavy equipment to drive across the ancient trees in Austin, Texas. So it was me and a stone hammer prying that up. I can see it's leaning. I'm going to have to fix that. There's another little gate that I got for free. So 3 gates is a great deal. But I got a lot more than that. The century plants make me, everything here made me happy. And to put things back to work from a old ranch, this was an old ranch in McDade. To put things back to work makes me feel great. So, but I need this tractor so that I can dig that clay so I can do the bridge. If I don't have a tractor, I will be all day long with a pick and an adze trying to trying to get that clay out of there. One last thing, since if this is your first time joining, I'm Steve, 1,000 Year Homes. My goal is to build a house that'll last 1,000 years. I like to start with stuff that's 100 years old, that's proven the test of time. Those are some antique feed troughs. They were free too. My horses kind of fight over each other, so I'm going to feed them once a day, breakfast here, and then I'm going to put these up in the pasture, and they'll have lunch and dinner up there, so they're not stirring up dust and whatnot. All right, well, it is early on Saturday. That catches you up to where I am. Flat tire, get the tractor off, put all this new stuff away, get working on that bridge. Well, that which is taking about a minute in stop motion was about 45 minutes of my morning. So it got so hot I have to get out of my bathrobe and do the rest of the day without my bathrobe. But I got my tractor out, got 3 tires filled up. I rolled off that big metal stock tank that's all rusted through. But again, I'm going to cut that in half and use it as a bridge bulkhead. That'll work for me. And that's just the morning. That's just the unloading part. That's not the working part. And, you know, the story of my life. I want to get those century plants into the ground. So I'm going to drive those up and pop those in the ground so they stand a chance of growing. And 100 years from now, they'll bloom. So if they survive, I think they will. They're tough plants. And anyway, got the tractor off. Now I can do some work. We'll see about that trailer tire. I'll fix that later. As I was airing it up, it snapped, and I think maybe it just came off the bead. We'll see. I would say I'm pretty good at when I pick stuff up of getting it in the ground or hanging it, or, you know, when I buy something, I try to use it, and I don't buy it until I need it, just in time, right? Trying not to be a hoarder. A lot of farmers are. They call it practical, but then when they pass away, you know, somebody's got to take care of all that stuff. I mean, who needs, you know, 200 old doors, you know? Nobody needs that. So, all right, those are in the ground. I'm going to keep working on the stuff that I recovered, salvage, get it all taken care of in its right spot today. So I'm working on that bridge over there, and that's part of my project. But I decided, since I was doing a busy work video, which aren't much of anything, to talk about being a DIYer and the fact that everything you estimate, you've got to add a lot more time to. Your project doesn't start when the tools are staged, you've already pre-cut all the wood, and away you go. That's what shows up on the YouTube, so you look at something on YouTube and you go, oh, I could do that project in an hour. Well, as a do-it-yourselfer, solo builder, your task begins way before that. And so your estimates of time are going to be way off, because you're working off of what you're seeing at a high performance level, or a teamwork level. Especially if, like me, you're harvesting your own materials while you do that. So anyway, I'm gonna do several videos today. I'm going to keep the bridge video separate from all of this bric-a-brac that I'm doing. And one thing I've got here is a knot in this thing that has forever been a problem for me ever since I knotted it. I'm going to try to get this out, but well, I like it all. I have to start my day 2 hours early before I start a project in order to get the stuff lined up to do the video work. And then if you're going to shoot a YouTube channel, add another 30% to whatever you do, just for video time. How long it takes you to shoot the video. That doesn't mean editing and all of that. That's a whole different job. But when you're doing something and you're trying to be educative, or like me, this is a build journal, so I'm just keeping track of what I'm doing every day or thereabouts. I usually post maybe 4 or 5 times a week. I have a full-time job, so when I'm done with my full-time job, then I jump in here and start doing my farm stuff. Usually from 5 o'clock to dusk, and then Saturdays and Sundays. Really taken me a long time to get things done because of that. Well, I am not having much success here. I think I have welded these together with pulling on them. That's unfortunate. I tied them in a knot after I laced them through that one, so I can't do that. This, when I should be taking a little break and resting, I try to sharpen a saw, or in this case fix a mistake I've made. These are not that much money, so at a certain point I'm going to give up trying to fix it and just decide that this 20-footer will be a couple of 10-foots, and I'll cut that knot out of there. I'm not ready to give up yet. But I sure have pulled. I pulled it tight with a tractor, and here I am trying to find a spot. It looks like the nylon I've welded in there. Look at that. That is bad. But I can't find the spot to even start loosening it. All right, I couldn't do that. Getting it unloose. It's welded together. So I'm going to cut one strand right here and see how that works. It's 27 foot, so maybe I'll have a couple of 6-footers that I can use for tying things down. And I lost, 18 inches off of that thing with my tomfoolery. I had it all tied up. It ended up getting knotted into 3. What I'm going to do is just tie that right back together. It's not like I use these straps like this for life and death stuff. It would go to hold down my tractor while I travel or something on the trailer. I'm just going to knot it up so that hook will be usable again, and call that a day once I pull that tight. So even resting, when you're a do-it-yourselfer, sitting here resting, my hands are not idle. I like my day job is I'm a super good engineer doing electronic stuff, so I'm world class, and so my brain is full all day long doing stuff that's mostly cerebral. So I enjoy the moment of being able to work with my hands and do something like this. It's mindless, but there's a certain amount of satisfaction. Maybe not for you as a viewer. Listen, I watch the simplest stuff. I don't watch movies very often. But I do watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of guys and gals just like me that are doing something with their hands. Restoring cars. Sometimes I watch people do stuff that I will never do. A mountain climb or something like that. All right, fixed. I'm going to move that ring back where I'm going to use it in the arroyo in the back. Well, I have seen this little arroyo really going, so I'll cut this thing in half. I'll make a 14-foot wide ditch here. I'll cover it with tin, and I'll concrete it, and then I'll overbag it with earth. And then I'll have, instead of a dip here, which grabs my trailers as I come and go, and just makes everything hard for digging. I want to dig a pond back in here, a 2-acre pond. And so if I do that, that'll take care of that. So this is where this is going to be. I'm just going to cut it in half and then, like I said, turn it into a bridge. Well, a culvert. Well, what I want to do is move the horses out from the corral up by the house, because when I put it on, do the foundation work, I don't want anybody scratching, nobody pushing on the shipping containers while they're up on jacks. So I'm going to put them up on bottle jacks. And then put the footings in and then all of that. So I've got these antique, they're really cool, these antique hay feeders, which I'll move up to the pasture here, and I'm going to hang them right there on that pipe fence. They're heavy, and hopefully that'll keep the horses behaving. We'll see. All right, that looks pretty good there, doesn't it? Wondering if they can eat next to each other if I have to move it away. I'm gonna put Hank's right there. We'll find out. Well, next up on my Saturday chores is the tank that I just brought home. The gate, I got to clear that runway so that I could take my truck to town. Right now it's all bottled in. As y'all saw, I had a flat tire earlier. It's about half flat again. So I'll end up taking that to town on Monday and having somebody patch it if I can't plug it myself. But that's the next project. I'm going to put you on stop motion. It'll be a little while. I got a lot of stuff to move out of there. I'm putting you way over here where it's safe. But in addition to the tank and the gate, I got the tank there, the gate. I've got, lots of stuff in there. Where is it? Those are tiles I'm going to take around to the front of the house, get those ready. Lots of things to move. So I'll be bringing the tractor by, and that's how I'll handle that. All right, I started at 8 this morning. It's now 1:30, so that's 5.5 hours. I took a water break. That's it. I haven't had lunch. I want to go to town. But I got all of the pre-staging work done. I dug the footings for the earth bag around the bridge. I got some ideas. I moved some 6x6s. But mostly, I cleared this out. Got all of that stuff I picked up from that ranch house staged. The gates are in the place where they need to be. The horse stuff where it needs to be. Lots of stuff done. But 5.5 hours mostly on prep before I can even start working. And that's why it's really difficult to get things done as a solo builder. I could either be staging and putting things in its place, or I could be working. Anyway, don't underestimate that. And it was real physical work. Each one of those barrels, right? 8 pounds per gallon, 55-gallon barrel of water to the top. 520 pounds for me to push up there. I had one full, lots and lots, thousands and thousands of pounds that I did have to physically push around. That is about in the place where I want it to be. So what I want to do is I want the roofs, once I'm done and the corbellas are in place and the drains are in place, they'll drain down into this, which will be my outside watering tank, about a 3,000 gallon capacity. It'll also be a koi pond and et cetera, et cetera. But for now, I need to get this work done before the rains come, if they ever come. They're 2 months late. 2 months late. Which tells me in January I'm going to have gully washers. So I've got a little bit of time maybe, but I've got gutters on that. I want to put gutters on this one as well. Angle it up, get it in place. I want to get the horses out of here so I could start working on the foundation. So clearing all that out was beneficial to me anyway. One thing I do want to do is I want to go ahead and dig this into the ground. Dig this into the ground. So I'm going to mark off this circle. I'm going to fix the bottom drain, put new stuff on there so when I put it in the ground it'll last a while. I'll put a little box around it with bricks and stuff so I can always get in there and fix it again. This little hole that they patched, I'm going to patch again from the outside and inside. Stick it in the ground to the height. It'll be in about 2 feet, above the ground about 2 feet ish. What'll happen is it'll match this, and it'll end up with capstones over the top of it, so it'll look really nice when I'm done. But I do need to mark that out and get that done. This is if the dirt from here will go straight over into my earth bags for the little bridge that I'm doing way over yonder. So one thing leads to another. But this is a good bit of work for me. I want to wash up. I want to get out of these clothes that I splashed, old rainwater on. Just get them off my skin. And then head into town and get a bite to eat. So, but anyway, for my build journal and for my diary, Steve, what did you do on this particular weekend? Why didn't I get the bridge done? Well, I didn't get the bridge done because I had all this other stuff to get done. So daily I'm loaded down with blessings. Listen, that was $4,000 to $5,000 worth of free stuff for my labor. Took me 2 hours each time I was over at the place picking up, plus 3 hours drive. So I'm going to guess 8 hours back and forth to gather up $5,000 worth of stuff. It's here, it's on the ranch, and I'll put it in a place and shoot other videos on that. But I'm so excited to those kind of opportunities. When I see them, it would be ridiculous not to cash them, right? And do some little other. I can always drywall. In addition, I'm living okay. I'm living like a Spartan, but I'm living okay. It fits my personality. I could not raise kids this way. It would be impoverishing to the kids. But, when I want to eat, I go into town and get a steak. Now, I feel no neglect whatsoever. Living footloose and fancy free. But I'm not up in the cruel north, and in the summer I have AC. So, y'all do you if you're homesteading off-grid solo building. It's demanding. It's demanding. I wish I would have started 10 years earlier when my body was stronger, because I'm worn out here. But I'm still strong, but I don't last as long. That's all. Looks good. Looky here. So what you're seeing here is there'll be the earth will be up, and it'll make a little ramp that'll go down, and so this will all be tapered. That way, if there's ever a 500-year flood, way beyond a 1,000-year flood, and it comes up, I'll be 2 foot above that even, and I'm way out of the floodplain. But way back in the corner, 10 acres away, is a corner of Butcher Creek that does flood. So you never know. So this will be a patio that'll come off the back here. There'll be stucco, an earth bag, a window there for my kitchen. So my kitchen will look out onto my koi pond, and there'll be a walk through here with an archway that'll go into my backyard, my courtyard here. So a good bit of business getting this all cleaned up anyway. In addition, by doing that, I made room for me to get to these footings. The footings is my next big build project for this building, and everything that I'm doing is related to that in one form or another. So pretty happy about that. But that will be, once I replace all those and I get the house leveled, then I can drywall and finish inside of it, pole electric, get my solar set up, all of that good stuff. All right, that'll do this video. Appreciate it if you hung around while I cleaned and organized. You know, I don't know how interesting that is, but a man's work can make a little money. You know, if I made $5 grand over the last few days just on my off hours, working really hard for free stuff. So, you know, that's to be said. You know, keep your eyes out on Marketplace and Craigslist and all that, and be willing to go and get it and work hard. Alrighty, like, subscribe, follow me. Bye.